Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome back. Queen Osset here. Today, I am going to respond to Jeff Burr, the Tattooed Spirits, hashtag Your Highest Intentions. And I'm working in tandem with the Queen Up project we've been doing through Wynter Nighthare and Dead Cheeky and Heidi. I had pulled my cards a week ago and I had to sit with them for the past couple of days. And as I get further in, I'll also explain why I have chosen to let my hair down, chosen to do something a little bit different. Because as I stated when I did my first Queen Up spread, the Queen of Cups is the energy that I am working with most right now, and the Queen of Wands is my most neglected energy, which is unfortunate for me. It does not sit well with me that the Queen of Wands, who I feel is like the embodiment of who I am, has been the most neglected. But in sitting with this for the past 2 weeks, I realized that the Queen of Cups, I can understand why I'm embodying this energy right now. I am a reader. I'm available to the public almost all day, all the time. I have to learn to be compassionate and nurturing and supportive. But there's also a part of me as the Queen of Cups where there are times when I have to remain emotionally detached so that I do not allow myself to go down a rabbit hole unnecessarily. Otherwise, I can't help anyone. But in doing so, I feel that I've also neglected parts of myself. And it's kind of ironic because the past few spreads that I've been doing since this Queen Up journey, the Queen of Cups has been haunting me, stalking me. Now, last year, it was the Empress who was stalking me, and it was all about taking care of yourself and nurturing yourself. And I guess I really didn't take that to heart until I realize now that I'm in this place, perhaps in the dethroned aspect of the Queen of Cups. There are parts of me that I have disconnected from, shut down from. Also, this journey has led me to research a bit more about the spiritual or emotional reasons for fibromyalgia. And in doing that, let's just say some reasons come up that have ticked off a lot of boxes. I'm going to be going in and doing a bit more research and looking into that as well. So onto the spread. Now, Jeff Burr of the Tattooed Spirit, Tattooed Tarot. I'll put the link in the box there. Just Jeff Burr, okay? He's highly energetic and he comes up with these highly inspirational spreads. And this one is Your Highest Intention. And I watched everyone do this and I wondered, well, what was my highest intention? I didn't have any real goals or dreams or anything like that. And I realized that that's a psychological thing. I'm not sure if I want to get into that now, but let's just say growing up, my dreams were never supported. So you get to a place in your life where you just stop dreaming and you become one of the people who do the supporting of others and their dreams. But in trying to get to the bottom of what my highest intention may be, I just have one dream right now, and that would be to experience one day without pain. And I know it may seem overreaching and overarching and nearly impossible, but some interesting things came up in this spread that led me to believe that that is not so far-fetched as I originally thought. So I'm going to put on my glasses because I can't see that well. But I believe you had to separate the tarot deck into 5 parts. Put this down here. 5 parts. Your majors, and then break out your minors. So you're going to pull 3 cards for your swords, your thoughts in regards to your highest intention, 3 cards for the cups in regards to your feelings towards your intention, and 3 cards in your wands for the action, I suppose, that you would take towards fulfilling your intention. And then you would pull a card from the pentacles or coins, something to keep you on that path. And then you'd pull a card from your majors, which is the universal guidance to help you realize your dream. And then afterwards, you will line up your 3 cards, 3 advice cards, and your major, and get your overall message. So what I did was, I'm going to remind you again about my queens, and I was using the Steampunk Tarot, and it seems that this is the energy where I am right now, okay? And this is the energy that I am most comfortable with here, and this is a challenge, and I'll speak about that in a little bit. And this is the queen that has been neglected, but not for long. So the deck that I'm using for this is the Next World Tarot, and it was created by Christy Rhodes. I want to say she's a Latina out of New York, started as a graphic designer. You want to see a wonderful walkthrough of this deck, go to Katie Flowers' channel. She did an excellent walkthrough on the Next World Tarot. It talks about, or it helps us connect to what our world will be once we decide to mature. Maybe, everything has to finally explode and then we can rebuild. We have to get to that tower moment and then we can rebuild. That tower moment allows you to release the facade and the false pretenses and finally get back to the bare bones of things. So it is a big deck. I mean, it's ginormous. You see that there? It's bigger than my hand. It's a lot to shuffle. But hopefully you can see some of the imagery clearly. So the first set of cards, the first 3, was I pulled 3 swords that talk about what I'm thinking, my highest intention. And my highest intention is to be pain-free for 24 hours. I've lived with pain most of my life, so I don't even know what it's like not to be in pain. So the first card is what serves my purpose, the one that does not serve my purpose, and then the third card is the advice. Okay, so the first card serves my purpose, and I got the 8 of Swords. I don't know if you can see that clearly there. Maybe I should turn off the light. Give me a second. That better? Got that glare. Anyway, I need the light. It says destruction, and it's Jupiter and Gemini. We know that Jupiter is a planet of expansion, and Gemini is all about the thoughts and such. And I wish you could see this card, because on her forearm, tattooed right there, it says, live your life. And when I saw this card for what I should do, something that serves me, and I read in the book about the 8 of Swords in this respect. And it says here that the 8 of Swords was burned once and refuses to be burned again. She hides from the possibility, but knows deep inside that she is greater than her triggers. The 8 of Swords is self-imposed limits for her own protection. She embodies a moment of validation. The Eight of Swords has cultivated a fortress. She wields her magic in secrecy. And you can see she's surrounded by the candles there, and she's sipping from a gourd. And that really is very poignant. I do what I do sort of in secret. I'm not really very open about it, and that's for protective reasons. And the advice, or rather the advice, or what not to do, what doesn't serve me, is the Four of Swords. And we know the Four of Swords represents respite and taking a break and taking a breather and relaxing, laying back, let go, let God. But I'm looking at this guy, and he's sitting at an IBM typewriter, and there's a box underneath him here, right there. And on the box, it says, regrets. I really have to get out of that woulda, shoulda, coulda stage. If I was 10 years younger or 20 years younger, what I would have done, but I'm not, and I'm not going to be able to. There are no do-overs, there are no start, stop, and repeat. I have to continue to move forward. And I'm also seeing like how he is sitting at the desk. It's almost like an incline. Not necessarily the most comfortable position. But what I need not do is keep going back to the past. Work on letting some things go. Not have any regrets. Everything that I've gone through has made me who I am today, and I'm okay with that. And the advice, the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is sitting in her truth. She's at that place where she is grounded. She's kneeling on the ground. And in my mind, that means she's connected to the earth. She's connected to who she is. The flowers in her hair represent her compassion for everything. But that sword is what she's resting on, which means she rests on her truth. She rests on who she is, and she's not shaken by that. It doesn't waver from that. So the next batch of 3 are how I feel about my intention towards this healing that I want to have. And the first card, what to do here, is the Queen of Cups. And I told you this Queen of Cups has been stalking me for quite some time here. But when I look at this Queen of Cups, and I showed it to a friend of mine, it is exactly how I feel. And it's kind of surprising that it would be a card as one of advice. When you look at this person, okay, it's a male. He's got a gray beard, so that tells me he's aged and wizened. But he's got a lot going on his head, kind of like my gele. He's got a cup with a bird that he's trying to keep aloft, the tentacles of the octopus reaching out to him. I just feel like that at the Queen of Cups energy. I feel like I'm constantly available. I don't get any respite. I don't get a breather. I don't get a break. I always have something coming at me. And then what he's standing on for security is a little rock there. Stepping stone, not even a full pier. And then what's in front of him is treasure chest, I suppose, of things that he's earned, belongings. That's it. That's what do I get from being so available to everyone and not taking care of myself. And then he's got an armload of fabric, and I had to laugh at that because I'm also a seamstress, and I do have a ton of fabric, and I just see where he's just weighed down by so much. Okay, now I understand about the Queen of Cups here. Christy Rose says the Queen of Cups energy is the one who shows up and provides the nurturing for everybody else. Everyone relies on this person. And that's great. You know, vessel of intuitive energy and a guardian angel, intuitive daughter of the ocean, mother of lost souls. Her inner knowing allows her community to trust her, to show up. The Queen of Cups follows the tides and the seagulls. The Queen of Cups is a vessel of your own truth. She asks you to reflect and detract from your recent history. Where are you now? Where am I now? The Queen asks you to unleash your magic. What not to do in this Ace of Cups. In the Ace of Cups, what not to do? Don't start from the beginning. Don't start something new. Don't start digging in the mud. I don't need to be in the mud. I've already, I always say no mud, no lotus. Maybe I've already done that. Maybe I've already gone through the mud and I don't need to get back into that. I don't need to become a seedling. Maybe it's time for me to emerge from the mud of perhaps the chaos or the situations or this imbalance in my life and take full hold of that. Perhaps that's what I'm supposed to do. And the advice is the King of Cups. So one of the things I've noticed so far is that I have a lot of court cards. And for me, the court cards, they do represent physical energies. They could represent a lot of people around me. And yes, I'm always surrounded by a lot of people. But this person is sitting in a wheelchair, but she's not limited by her physical incapabilities. And that's the advice that I feel for me, that as the King of Cups energy, that I have matured through, or I need to mature to a place of emotional stability that I need to use the energy of the King of Cups, which is use my intellect in combination with my compassion and my healing to move forward. But we'll go a little further when I do the advice cards. So let me see here. Right now, I have 2 court cards who are giving me some advice. And so for the Wands, what serves my purpose? The best thing that serves my purpose. And the King of Wands. And look at that, King. Seems like this guy, he is wielding his magic out in the open. And I feel like that's what I should be doing. I should everything's talking about being more open. I don't know. I always felt that I was living authentically, but maybe I need to do the Johari spread. Maybe that's a misconception or misperception of who I am. I hope you can see this without the glare. But he's wide open. He's sitting very comfortably. He's grounded. He's sitting on the earth. He has attached his root chakra to the earth. He knows that where he's connected to. Everything he does comes from where he is comfortable, where he is seated. What not to do? The 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is busy and activity and on the go. And this guy's carrying a bag that says mutual aid. Maybe I need to pull back a little bit more. Maybe I need to do something to really start taking care of myself. Maybe I need to be about it and not speak about it. Maybe I need to do it, put it into action. Right? What not to do. And the advice here is the 10 of Wands. And we know that 10 of Wands is where we've gotten to that place where we've accomplished so much. We get this sense of being overwhelmed and burdened from the other cards. But in this, I see where this person has created a haven through all their work. And I'm going to read what it says in the book. Let's see, 10 of Wands. Can you see that? Here marks a structure built on blood, sweat, tears, and completion. The structure is sound yet alive, as the Ten of Wands is patiently enamored by the intricacies of his home, away from the beauty of the natural world, but reminiscent of the blue of the sea, the rage of the fire, the stability of the earth, and the truth of the air. The Ten of Wands made a cataclysmic creation and found a home in the debris of destruction. He asks you to fight for honor and recognition, as it is the safest route to stability after a life of creative chaos. So that's my advice. Now, the card that I pulled to bring everything together from the Pentacles is the Page of Pentacles. And that's that new energy. The possibility of ideas and actually putting them into action. I know that will be the Wands, but this goes beyond just thinking and planning. This is like actually doing something here. This Page of Pentacles is sitting in an artist studio surrounded by things that they love to do, things that they want to create. They're just full of the possibility of bringing in new ideas. And that's the linchpin that I have here. So this Page of Pentacles, I am just all over the place. Anyway, but the Page of Pentacles represents the harnessing of agency. She is a seasoned visionary, yet initially stepping foot into the territory outside of her humble beginnings is an isolated punk rocker full of insecurities and possibilities. As youth, we scavenge for belonging. And once we find it, we note its sacred quality. Leaving the subcultural nest or whatever safety net you have led you into adulthood is daunting but necessary. The Page of Pentacles also asks you to step in with conviction. So I need to not allow myself to be limited or restricted by my physical situation. Okay, as I said, I have my good days and I have my not so good days. I hate when my necklace is off. And every day it seems to be not so good. It's a struggle, but I'm able to, these past few days, move around a bit more. It's almost like a spark has been lit. And one of the things I did was to release my hair. My message from Spirit was judgment. And I really feel like I'm going to be spiritually supported in what it is that I want to do here. And in the book it says, and I think this is really what summed it up for me when I read this part of it. Let your spirit learn from the spirits who left us. Excavate the lies which have left you dumbfounded and hold on to the wisdom spoken through the voices of the dead. And I need to lean a little bit more on my ancestors and really tap into that ancestral energy and perhaps do some shamanic healing work myself to bring the healing that I need. It's time to heal the healer. The Queen of Cups energy, sometimes I always wonder who fills her cup when it's empty. Okay. I think I pretty much gave you a synopsis of all of these together. I don't have to put them all together here in regards to the advice, the things that I should do. I need to basically step into my power and take ownership. It's time for me to move forward, time to be very proactive. I am going to do another intention spread for an idea that I have in mind, but I do want to focus on getting myself physically well. Now, one of the things I also wanted to bring up, and in regards to the queens, again, and we can go back to this. I have the 4 queens, and I want to show you how they are portrayed in this deck. Oh dear. So the Queen of Cups, as I said, is the energy that I am most embodying right now. Okay. And as you can see, I do feel overwhelmed by all the stuff, quote unquote, that I have to carry. I am available to a lot of people. I'm in service of people. I'm in service to everyone. And I have to know when to say stop. I also have to recognize that no is a complete word. And I have to allow myself time off from this. And it's okay to take a break and not feel guilty about it. And the place where I am more comfortable right now, the Queen's energy, is the Queen of Swords. And you see, she's it's not even stern. She is even resting. She knows that she has to ground herself as well. I mean, she's on bended knee. That's a form of resting. That's a form of, bringing your body down to the earth, regrounding yourself. You're still leaning. I feel like she's resting on her sword for support. And I feel as long as I am truthful and I'm clear about what it is that I want, then I can move forward and I will be successful. The Queen of Pentacles is where I have a challenge. And if you look at this Queen of Pentacles, I can see why I have that challenge. Compared to the Page of Pentacles I just showed you, do you see how neat and orderly everything is? How pristine everything is? This is my challenge. And I can see that. And one of the things that I've been doing this past week is gutting my home. I've been getting rid of a lot of things. A word that kept coming up for me was chaos. Chaos is can't have anyone over syndrome. I have quite a few things. After downsizing a few years ago, I didn't downsize my belongings, and I feel now it's time for me to do so. So do you see the difference between this Queen of Pentacles, neat and orderly, and the advice card for the Page of Pentacles? Surrounded by, still orderly, but I'm surrounded by the things that I love. I'm an artist, I'm a seamstress, I'm a fabricaholic, I'm a tarotista. I love creating things, and it's been a while since I've created things. And I've used my lack of space as an excuse. I've used my fibromyalgia as an excuse. No more excuses, and that's what I think the Queen of Swords says. No more excuses. I really need to embody that. But the energy that I've disconnected from, and this has been my inspiration, is the Queen of Wands. Do you see that? I really hope you can see a clear picture of that beauty. She's looking at me to say, come on, baby. Life is meant to be lived. This, for me, is Oshun. Oshun is the deity of the Yoruba. Ifa, you'll hear her name is Santeria, Lukumi. She reminds us that there is still sweetness in life to be enjoyed no matter what is going on. When I saw this card, I was inspired to let my hair down. You see, I go from here. You can see my own progression. I'm getting ready to wrap this video up. Queen of Cups. I've just got so much going on right here as the Queen of Cups. I've never really felt the Queen of Cups energy to be just overloaded with so much stuff. Just look at it visually with nowhere to go. Where's your sense of security? And do you know, I was having some visions, dreams or something of being out in the middle of the ocean. Not drowning, just in the middle of the ocean with nothing around me except blue water. And I remember talking to my tarotistas about this about maybe a month ago. I was a little concerned, like where these visions were coming from. I would be in the shower and see myself in the blue, blue ocean, just kind of like this. Not really sure. I mean, where am I going to go without losing my footing? Am I really sure of where I'm going? If I'm not taking care of myself and taking care of my healing, how can I do that for anybody else? Well, I can, but I need to get a grip, and I need to get myself back on track. And this Queen of Swords, you know, she's telling me, you're always going to have that. You're grounded, you're rooted, you're clear. You know what you need to do. You're still a compassionate person, but it's time for you to be truthful and honest with yourself. And that's where the Queen of Wands comes in. And I just love the dynamic. I mean, right down to being full figured. I put on a few pounds, just a lot of things. So I'm starting to feel like I am being reborn, rebirth. So I want to say thank you to Wynter Nighthare and Jeff Burr for getting me back on this path, on this journey that I need to be on, reconnecting me to myself. So enjoy the hair. I mean, I do enjoy my wrap. But, natural, this takes a lot of work. Okay, this took a lot of work. But I'm liking it, you know, people are liking it as well. But maybe next video I'll come back and I'll have it wrapped. I don't know. Anyway, until soon, take care. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.